Good afternoon. My name is J.A. Cousley. To those few I allowed in my inner circle, they're the ones who called me John. I do not remember much of Ireland, the land of my birth, and I remember even less of my father, who died when I was 4 years old in 1848. I do remember the steamship trip to America and the long journey that led here to Alton. My mother and my siblings, they would learn to call Alton home. But to me, Alton is the only home I would ever know. Words have always fascinated me. More specifically, the power of words to change opinions. When I was a teenager, I decided that the best place to work with words would be at the Telegraph, one of a number of competing papers here in town. Now, in those days, the Telegraph was changing. It had long endorsed the doomed Whig Party. Now, it wholeheartedly embraced the Republican Party, just like I did. I started out as a printer's devil, that's a kind of apprentice, at the paper in 1860 at the age of 16. Our nation was torn asunder. Within months, the war between the states would rage. I would help out in the print shop with print projects, and I would make certain I could get the news out to a public that was hungry for information about the battles. The war. It all seems so useless to me. Why? Why can we not use words and diplomacy to solve these crises? I was a naive young man, and I was growing up quickly, working at the struggling paper. Too often words would fail, and my eyes were open to this world, but I would not change. I would keep my belief that words and words alone could change hearts and minds. As time went on, I took a wife, I had a family. My countrymen, while no longer divided by war, were just as separated by ideas and ideals. In 1889, an opportunity arose to become the publisher of the Telegraph. I relished it. Finally, here was my chance to put my words into print, to change hearts and minds with my printed page. In the 23 years that I served as publisher, the Telegraph more than doubled in size and grew from 1,000 readers to more than 4,000 readers. I used to tell my staff, now we must make a profit, but we must not do so at the cost of our morals and our ethics. A vigorous discussion of the issues will serve this community well. It was a changing time in the industry, too. The Telegraph swallowed up many of its smaller competitors. Now there were fewer voices, to be sure, but that would not change our mission. We would continue to promote the Republican way and to report the news even-handedly. Now, in my 23 years as publisher, I never once took a vacation. And in the end, that would be my downfall. My health deteriorated rapidly. In 1913, in a trip to Springfield for the state civil service, I collapsed, and I laid in my hotel bedroom for 3 days before I could be helped by rail back to Alton. And then the crushing blow. Later that same year, I would lose my beloved wife. And in my grief, I could no longer be the publisher of the Telegraph. 2 years later, 1915, my son Ben died. It is not right for a father to have to bury a child. I will be with you again soon, Ben. Very soon. Now, just as when I started at the Telegraph, war looms on the horizon, this time in faraway Europe. I fear that words will fail and America will enter the fray. But I will not live to see that day. My time grows short. I pray that one day there will be a day when words and ideas will solve the problems of this earth. I also pray for Alton, the only home I ever knew. May she thrive and prosper always, and may the Telegraph maintain its high standard of journalistic excellence. I love my hometown, and I love my belief in the power of words, a belief that I took with me to my final rest.